I think potentially maybe impact fees we have to change. I still say yes.
Here, let's go.
All right, ready?
You had something to come over so that we can start from there.
Who do you want to start with?
Set us a 501c.
We need to have them all. Give an adjustment.
We're going to have you on. If you're ready to go.
Oh, we're ready. Yeah.
I want to make sure I test the microphone. Sure.
Yeah.
Those two right there.
Yeah, I'm used to it. You know how that goes.
I want to hit you in the face.
Oh, you're
Probably not.
To move it up higher, those will be your two. This one probably get you right where you need to be. Losing that and then put nice and close.
Well, because I was hanging on silent.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Beijing. The following will be a test and quick whistle, the sonar alarm, the table alarm, and the atomic attack alarm. Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live 100 feet from the Gulf of America. Here are your award-winning social media superstars, the hosts of Beach Talk Radio, Kim and Ed Ryan.
Yeah. Thank you all very much for coming. Thank you for that nice round of applause. And I know an explanation is in order. I don't ever like to start the show late. It's now 9 minutes after 10 o'clock. And I'm going to tell you the God's honest truth right now what happened. I had a drink right here on this table, and it slid off right onto the laptop, and the camera would not work. So I want to thank Mary Torgerson for driving all the way over from her house to bring us the laptop, and it looks like everything is working. I'm sure if it's not, somebody will let us know. What? I got to turn the mics on now that we're fine. There you go.
Hold it up there.
So there was my point.
There you go.
It's not working. Hers tipped over.
So,
What do you do? I mean, it's an obstacle course for me to get on here. I mean,
I
are you trying
like-
to make me look foolish?
I like the new microphones, and I made sure that you wore.
This microphone thing is like,
What?
it keeps me off my toes because I have to climb over this. I have to get under. I look like a fool. I'm in vision therapy for vertigo, and he's like, "Can you climb under there?" I'm like, "I probably can, but I'll probably hit my head on the way up."
And Melissa and Megan are here from the Beach Kids Foundation. And while I get my bearings on myself, Melissa, tell us about the Beach Kids Foundation, please.
my pleasure. The Beach Kids Foundation.
Can you put her mic on?
I'm doing it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hello, testing.
Yeah, there you go.
Hi. So the Beach Foundation is all about just helping the children of Fort Myers Beach. We support the kids, their families, the beach school, anyone we can to be there and help them have a great life, school, education. And that's what we do. We're a
Why,
nonprofit.
did you ask for that? Why? Jeez.
Why won't that one stay up?
I'll fix it while you guys keep going. I'll fix it.
That's my sister-in-law's favorite thing.
But anyway, we're a 501c3 charity. We're just all about helping the kids on the island, and we're happy to do it.
I give up today.
It's just a fun day. It's a fun day. It's good.
It's just tippy.
It had a few too many
Watch
mimosas.
your, watch
on
your
this
teeth.
microphone.
Watch your teeth. We have no insurance on that.
Good luck following that. I know. Can you hear me? Okay. Yes, I am helping out the Beach Kids Foundation this year. We're going to have our first inaugural pickleball tournament, and that is going to be on November 15th. We're super excited, and we still have a couple spaces left for any of you beginners out there that want to play pickleball. So we have so far 25 teams, 50 people registered, and it's going to be at Bay Oaks. So we're hoping to have a great turnout, lots of fun, food trucks, raffle tickets, all kinds of stuff to raise money for the Beach Kids Foundation.
So who are some of the teams, like specifically?
Well, we have
Do
a
you have
very
team?
we have a very special team, and that is the mayor of Fort Myers Beach
And-
and his partner,
Who's he? Who's he?
Who's his
Who's
partner?
his partner?
Scott?
Oh,
Scott.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well,
All
we
right.
may need to sign up.
No, we're not signing up. We did that
That-
once, and
well,
we're not doing it again. No.
Actually, that was a give to you because you ruined it for us last year. So I'm looking for a partner.
Good.
To,
Good, because you're a terrible pickleball player, and it
I
was
am
clear.
a good pickleball player. There's a picture of you. You look like, I don't know, Mary Poppins out there with your pickleball.
I saw that the
racket.
strategy for Jim and Dan last year
And
was
then you fell over the net.
the strategy for Jim and Dan last year was hit it to Kim, hit it to Kim. That's how we're going to
That
win, and
is
that's how
not
that's how you
true.
won.
That is not true. That's exactly quite the opposite.
So, what else do you have going on with the foundation that you want to share with our audience?
Well, the public is absolutely welcome to join us at the tournament, cheer on the teams. And also, we've got a really great raffle going on that they can win prizes to some fabulous places out on the island. You do not actually have to be present to win, and we actually have it online. If people would like to get tickets online, they can enter there. We're going to do the drawing that Saturday, and we'll give you a call and let you know. So if you go on our Facebook page, Beach Kids Foundation, find the post right there. It's right at the top, and you can get your tickets right online. We would absolutely appreciate it. All of the proceeds go right back into the community and helping the kids of the island.
Sweet.
How much are the tickets?
Tickets are $5 each, or you can get 5 for $20. You can win a stay at Pink Shell. You can win a stay at the Lani Kai. We have some wonderful prizes from Anita down at Islander on the south end, and some other fabulous things. So any support is very much welcomed, and we really do appreciate it.
Now-
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Christmas event, Melissa, that the I can't remember the gentleman's name that he would do at the end of every year with the gifts? Is that still on?
Yes, it is actually. We're going to be having our upcoming Christmas celebration where we gather all of the children's wish lists that they write to Santa, and we go out and we collect all those gifts. We raise funds, or also people can purchase those exact gifts and send it in to the charity where Santa, of course, comes out and takes care of it themselves and
Chris.
gets that all distributed for the family. So we do have that coming up as well, and we're really, really excited to get that going.
And you'll let us know when that kicks off, right? And how people can help.
Absolutely, Ed. Thank you. And we want to thank you guys so much for your support all the time in helping our charity and helping the kids of the island. We're very grateful for you guys. We're very grateful for our town. We're very grateful for our mayor. And we're just so thankful because it's just all about helping the kids. So thank you.
Yeah, it's a very unifying event and thing that goes on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. It's
That
always
says
good. Santa
unity.
needs help, you know. And, we're so grateful for the community.
Oh,
here,
you
though.
can be Santa's helper,
Yeah.
Yes.
And is it just the
which
kids?
is an elf.
Is it just the kids on Fort Myers Beach, or is it also Iona?
It is. It is actually all surrounding Fort Myers Beach, the Iona area as well. If you have parents or guardians that work or live on or around the island, please reach out to us. We want to do what we can to help you out. You don't have to be specifically on the island for us to, of course, help support you.
Megan, you all right over there?
I am.
All right. What do you got going on?
I fell asleep for a second. Sorry. Not much. I'm just super excited. The great thing about pickleball is that there is a factor that young people can play and get their butts beat by 70, 80-year-olds at pickleball. So there's an even playing field. So I'm excited to see we have some kids, some of the firefighters' kids playing, and we have some like the mayor and some other people playing that it's going to be really exciting.
And
So
there's still spots open, right? Can you sign up as a team and as an individual, or would you prefer teams?
we need teams, but
Yeah.
if there's an individual that wants to play, we can match you up with
Gotcha.
somebody. So
Did you guys see the end of that Indiana game yesterday? How bizarre did anybody see the end of that? Or was I okay, crazy. I sent a text to Adderhold about that because he's from Indiana, dear. Didn't you know that? Yeah, they don't play pickleball in
I
Indiana.
was just gonna say, how
Yeah.
are you, tying
Yeah.
that in with pickleball?
Well, he was a pickleball cheater, and I remembered that the Indiana game was yesterday, and it was an amazing finish
I'm
for his
gonna
team.
work on my flea flicker for the
Yes,
pickleball.
that's our favorite
tournament.
football
That's my
play. Is the
favorite.
flea flicker. So, and I bet you guys didn't notice. This is Dan. I don't need you heckling me from the audience. I get enough of that in Cape Coral. I don't need it here too. So I bet you guys didn't know this. This is going to be breaking news that you also, it's also like going to the doctor when you go to play pickleball, right, Perry? Perry's mom was playing pickleball and broke her arm playing pickleball.
Ouch.
So she goes into the hospital and realizes she needs triple bypass surgery. So you never know what's going to happen when you play pickleball. So she, what's
Pickleball
that? It saved her life. See that? It's a
Wow.
life-saving game
Lives.
here. So, Melissa, you were also part of a vacation rental company, which is a great sponsor of ours. So please do share information about that and how
Well,
people can find out how to get in touch.
Thank you, Ed. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
sure.
Yes, I am a proud CMO of Tri-Power Vacation Rentals. We offer absolutely beautiful properties, whether it's beach cottages, beach condos, mansions, houses. If your family wants to enjoy it on Fort Myers Beach, have a nice vacation, Tri-Power Vacation Rentals has an absolutely stunning property perfect for you. TriPowerVacationRentals.com, or you can find us on Facebook. We would love to show you your perfect property for you and your family to enjoy on your trip down.
Yeah.
Yes.
best
And-
people around.
Yes.
That's
and-
my husband and my mother-in-law. That
Oh.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
and
I didn't know that.
Yep, we've been on the beach for I don't know 50 years or something like that, and so please use us.
Yeah, and if you look on our website or now in our newsletter, all the ads that we have Melissa either in a bathtub, fully clothed, of course, or in one of the houses, and you just look
Wow.
like you're having a great time.
I am. Seriously, these homes are beautiful. I love how diverse each one is. They're so unique. Each one has its own personality. And I have fun if I can hide in it or pop out of it or
Yeah.
surprise you in some way. I'm going to do
Thank
it.
you.
So
And
stay tuned for more.
and things are starting to pick up, right? Things are starting to pick up for sure.
They are. They absolutely are. It's great seeing that
Thank
the
you.
beach has been picking up. We're coming back
Yes.
to what we once were before Ian, and it's wonderful seeing all these wonderful people returning to the island and supporting the island and welcoming a lot of new people as well. So it's been fantastic.
If somebody wants to just donate money to the Beach Kids Foundation, what's the easiest and best way to do that?
Thank you for that. The best way is actually going on our Facebook page. That is where we really lead everything that we're doing for the cause. So if you find us on Facebook, beachkidsfoundation.com, you'll see links to PayPal that you can make a tax-deductible donation. Or if you'd like to help in any way, you can always message us, and we're happy to join forces. It's just all about the kids on the community.
Awesome. Is there anything else? I want to make sure we don't miss anything. Anything.
November 12th is the last day to sign up. So like I said, we need a few more teams. And so you can do that. You can email me, or you can go to the Beach Kids Foundation Facebook page or website and reach out, and we'll get you signed up.
How much is it to sign up?
It's $100 a team,
Okay.
and all of the money goes to the Beach Kids Foundation.
All right.
And lots of prizes. Everybody that registers automatically gets a raffle ticket.
And just so everybody knows, Wednesday is November 12th. So you should sign up by Wednesday. If you're, you know how many, you might have asked this already because I was a little discombobulated at the beginning, but how many teams you have so far?
We have 25 teams.
Oh, wow. That's great. And you've already mentioned this. I know how much is it per team?
Just said
$100.
$100.
$100 a team. I was
That's
just
okay.
trying to do the math
Wow.
and see how much money you've raised so far. So
Well,
that's
so
good.
far we've
That's
also
good.
had some very large donations from Alex King and his group, and so we're approaching, I would guess, close to $10,000 for the one-day
Wow.
event. So we're really hoping to get to 10,000.
Awesome. All right. And you have until Wednesday, November 12th to sign up. It's all for the Beach Kids Foundation. And thank you guys for coming on. And if you need anything, just
Thank
let us
you.
know. We'll put the post out there again for the Beach Kids Foundation The tournament is next Saturday, November 15th at Bay Oaks. A big hand again
All
for
right.
our friends from the Beach Kids Foundation.
Yay. I'm going to
Thank
help
you.
you get out of here
Yes.
so that,
We're going to change all that out, so we'll make it life a lot easier. I don't know why I try to complicate things, but these microphones are so much better. Maybe it's just my microphone or my loud voice that's so much better. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And so before Dan comes on, we're going to start with the town manager. Will is coming on. You guys don't need to take that off. You don't need to take it off. And the second thing I wanted to mention is we're now in day 25 without the baby truck. So I don't know what the end result will be with that, but we're in day 25.
you got to turn his mic on.
I know, without
Okay.
the baby truck. And can we get a big hand?
The
for,
end result is going to have to be that we get some sort of conveyance that actually works
Yeah,
and isn't. I don't know that color, and I like muted colors, but it looks like mud.
but that only thing that doesn't work in this, the third loaner I've had so far, is the phone. Like the charger for the phone is the only. I mean, isn't that the only thing that we all need right now? Is the charger for the phone?
Well, no, you
doesn't
need it
work.
to turn on and run.
Well, yeah,
that's
it hasn't
helpful.
overheated on the bridge yet. So, but the last word that we received was on Friday that they said that GM is now involved in the whole thing. And so the mechanic has to check in with GM. And I said, okay, well, who's my GM contact? And they said,
It's a secret.
just call customer service, like an 800 number. And I was like, yeah, like that's
But we're
really gonna
very
work.
grateful to the person who is helping us out with that.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So we do have a contact. So
Yeah.
anyway, I think people are amused by the fact that I'm 25 days making payments on a truck that I don't own anymore. So,
Well,
Lady-
but you've got this.
I
At
got the
least you've
loaner.
got something.
Yeah. So can we get a big hand for your town manager, Will McInerney, everybody? Yeah.
Does he ever get your name right?
Well, he's still getting closer and closer.
Oh, well, how did I thought well,
Mc-
correct
Mc-
me.
McCann.
Oh, wow. I'm never going to get that right.
McCannay.
Sorry.
Yeah, very good. Kim.
I'll
Is that
just-
close? McCannay.
No,
I'll
you
just
got it,
call
you
you
got it.
Will.
That'll work.
So one of the reasons that we want you to have we want you to come on was you're an Army veteran, and Tuesday is Veterans Day, and there was a huge parade in Cape Coral on Saturday that Kim got to go to, and wanted to talk about Veterans Day and what it meant to you and your friends, and really what do you connect? Do you reconnect with those guys and ladies on today and tomorrow and Tuesday, or?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for bringing it, or for, again, raising the awareness. Veterans Day coming up on Tuesday. A great annual holiday for our country, recognizing the service of any Americans who serve in any of our armed forces at any point during their lives.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's
Yeah,
no
thank
way.
you. It's significant. Some stats that I'll bring up just so everybody's aware that, less than 0.5% of our current population actually serves in active duty in the military at any one time, and less than 1% is serving in all active duty and reserves. And there's 6% of Americans are veterans, and that number gets smaller actually every year, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's because it was at its peak after World War II, for obvious reasons, and it's actually a good thing that we haven't had to go back to that large of a standing force, right? Through great leadership and great militaries that we've had. So that's not a bad thing, but just remember, I myself and everybody who's a veteran appreciates all the support that we receive from wonderful communities like Fort Myers Beach, Lee County, all of Florida, and really all of our country. And yes, Ed, your question, yeah, this is a time of year along with Memorial Day where we do connect and reconnect with a lot of those that we served with. But really that goes on all the time. There's a bond, there's a common bond and a connection that is every day. Last year, I had a reunion with the company that I commanded in Iraq, OIF 1, OIF 2. We had a reunion out in Colorado last year where we had almost half of those of us who served together in that unit come together for a nice reunion 20 years after we were there. That is, they're all special to me. That one's really special to me as we served in probably during the most difficult times of that particular conflict in places like East Baghdad and Mosul and the Second Battle of Fallujah.
Was that was that before the surge or after the surge or
right
during?
before the surge?
Okay.
So that was during the uprising, what they called the kind of like the Sadr uprising and the battles of Fallujah against the Al Qaeda in Iraq forces. And I was just thinking of that Battle of Fallujah just the other day. It was in November. It began about like November 7th, November 8th, and went through most of November. And a lot of you have heard of that from the book House to House, and some of the other movies, the Marines and the Army units that were fighting literally house to house in an urban environment. My unit was on the outer cordon outside the city, keeping more fighters from getting in and keeping bad guys from getting out, trying to capture the ones that were trying to escape and stop more insurgents from entering the city.
So were you in a house or were you on a building or?
We were mobile.
I see.
So we were all around the roads on the outside of the city, just trying to eliminate improvised explosive devices that were along the roads, stop insurgents from trying to get into the city to fight, and capture those that were trying to squeeze out of the city.
Yeah. How much in
Can I-
gear do you? How much did
He's
it weigh?
totally
I
fascinated.
totally am because I'm in awe of people that go into battle and fight in wars and
You bring this up every
I
time.
do.
Why didn't you sign up?
it wasn't around. I think because it was never around my family. My family, there was no influence, and it was peacetime.
Did
and
they
there
not
wasn't.
so they didn't have like
No, there's
the
nothing going on.
recruiters come in and talk to you guys in high school?
If they did, I don't remember. I
He was
really
playing
don't.
hooky that day.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No.
No, I mean, a lot. You bring up a good point. A lot of it is family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My dad was a career Marine. I grew up around the Marines the whole time, and we had kind of for the rest of his life, we had a little bit of a service rivalry. Me being Army, him being Marines, but he was very proud, and I of him. But yes, a lot of times it's fathers, it's uncles, it's mothers, it's aunts, it's grandparents who served. My wife also
I
is
was
a
just
veteran.
gonna say
you guys
wife.
know Deidre.
Yeah.
So yep, thank you.
Big hand. Yeah.
And our son now is in the Army, our oldest son as well. So it's not uncommon that it be a family thing, but it doesn't need to be. A lot of
Right.
people join and start their own, service.
You see.
I think yesterday when I was at can I say one thing? Yesterday when I was at the parade, you would see a lot of people that had served going up to older service people, thanking them for their service, but just
Yeah.
everybody, a lot of people there thanking those who have served that,
Yeah.
if they knew they had their hats on it, which was really nice. And the kids going up. So
Yeah.
obviously people are instilling in their kids that respect and
I think it's great. And I'd ask that, people just, always go up and shake somebody's hand who's a veteran and thank them for their service. It never goes unappreciated. Think of, we've got many veterans who are living alone or in our veterans hospitals that just would love to be visited and people come by and just spend some time with them.
Well, when we were doing the fundraiser at the VFW, and one of the guys came up and said that the suicide rate is like 22 veterans a day. It's like that. It's just insane. Like, and there's how do you? I don't think I asked you this because I tried to ask them that. Like, is there any way to try and reverse that number? It's just crazy.
Providing services to them, making sure that they have connections with their community. The communities are there for them. Making sure that we continue to support those veterans organizations like VFW, American Legion, and the Disabled American Veterans. But also, if you know veterans in your community, try to include them in the community as much as possible so they don't become isolated. Don't think that just because you didn't serve with them that you can't make a connection with them, because a lot of time it's the lack of connection. And they, I think it was famously Robin Williams, as a quote, something by Robin Williams is, you never know the battle somebody is fighting inside them, when you meet them, something along those lines. And it's true. And many veterans have the inner battles just from the stresses of their service or injuries on the inside that, you might not see. So it's a true statistic. It's an unfortunate statistic, but it's one that we can turn around.
Does the VA hospital, does the VA offer certain programs or reach out to these veterans to try and, provide those mental health services that are so necessary?
They do. Yeah. The Veterans Affairs does, as well as many of those other veteran service organizations like VFW and the Legion and so forth. There are, 1-800 things. There are web pages. There are groups. Any veteran can reach out anytime they need to talk to someone. Myself included. I've got my disabilities from the service as well. And I can tell you that the way the improvements in the system for helping veterans are 1,000-fold from the time when my dad, left the Marine Corps in the 70s. So the services are there, and there are absolutely ways that you can support by looking to the VFW or the Legion or Disabled American Veterans if you're looking for a way to support veterans who might be struggling.
And
Check
to
in.
go ahead, and to reduce that stigma for reaching out for help, because those services can
Yeah.
be available, but it's getting people to access them when they need them and not,
Yeah. Like a lot of our law enforcement, first responders, and military service members are the same way. We have there is a stigma. It's difficult to ask for help. So encourage people that there should be no stigma. There's no shame in asking for help, because do it for yourself, do it for your family, do it for those that care about you.
So, well, forgive me for asking, or you don't have to answer. So, sometimes
or you could punch him in the nose, depending on how egregious
I'm sure
this
you could
next
kill me
question
with your
is.
bare hands too. So you seem like you're well adjusted. I mean, Iraq was hell for so many people in this country when they went, and you seem like you're very well adjusted. I'm not taking anything for granted, but I've seen you in action here on the beach. How?
Well, it's a combination of a great family support network, great fellow men and women that I served with, that I stay in contact with on a regular basis. It's faith. It's physical fitness is a big part of it. If I don't work out in the morning, the rest of my day is kind of ruined. And that's, so meditation, which I do a lot through things like that. There's just lots of things that I learned throughout my career and post-career that helped me, kind of try to keep an even keel.
What's going on in Iraq now? Do you feel like it was worth everything that we did? I know there's a lot of second guessers about the weapons of mass destruction now and all that, but do you and the other folks that you served with feel like it was worth it?
I think that anytime we can give a country an opportunity to build a democracy is something that we should do as a nation. There's lots of second guessing from that particular maybe the reasons to go in. I think that the service alongside my fellow soldiers at that time, Marines that I served with, we served for each other more than anything else during that time. But I saw a big change while I was there and the years afterwards. It's a struggle. It's a difficult part of the world to try to establish a democracy. With their, battling against many different ideologies and different people and groups, cultures, fighting for control. We'll see the same thing. It'll take a generation. It'll take a generation if it's going to change. And the generation that had an opportunity that maybe we gave them the opportunity. It's only been 10 or 15 years. 2011 or so was, I guess, when we left the most part of our forces there out of there. But I think it's going to take more time. It's too early to tell. Little solace for those that lost family members. For me, who lost soldiers that served under me, friends, it's little solace to think that it's taking so long. You want to see quick action. I don't think we're going to see anything turn quickly in that part of the world.
How do you think the United States is set up with the way the Army and the armed services are now, with all the changes that are being made at the top? And you don't have to get political, but you see what's going on. Are we strong?
We're strong. Yeah, our armed forces are the strongest, the most professional, the most technologically capable, and best trained in the world. That's not going to change. There's always changes in leadership. There's always, from the top, and they're gonna pick the team that they want to lead the department in the way, whether it be the Department of the Army, the Navy, whatever it is, in the way that they want it led. But one thing that I am always confident in and will always be confident in is the leaders of those forces. When it came up through the ranks like I did, and are dedicated to their force, dedicated to this country, and will continue to serve professionally.
So what's the best thing us average people can do, below average in my case, people can do on Tuesday? What is it that would mean the most to veterans on Tuesday?
Well, there's one thing that's actually in the resolution from the original
I don't want this.
Veterans Day is 2:11, 2 in the afternoon, 11 minutes after the hour. Moment of silence is something that they ask all Americans to do. Because the reason it's the 11th, if for those of you who don't know, is originated with Armistice Day. The 11th, for the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month is when World War I ended. It was the official end. So November 11th, then from then on, it was Armistice Day. Then it became Veterans Day. So first of all, remember all veterans, because remember that Veterans Day is a remembrance of all veterans who have served our country. Memorial Day is a remembrance of those who lost their lives in service of our country. So all veterans who served, and take the opportunity to thank every veteran you know. Thank them for their service. Make that connection. Let them know that you're there for them in any way.
And especially important to do it on November 11th, but through the year.
Absolutely.
Like, make a commitment to do it throughout the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything about the beach you want to share?
Well, not yet. Not till
Oh.
I
Dan
think he's
comes
going to
on.
get there. I do
Yeah.
want to thank the ladies from the Beach Kids Foundation. Myself and Jason Freeman, who's our deputy town clerk, who's a beach kid, are going to be playing as well.
Oh.
We've got a team in there. So we're looking forward to
I think
that.
you're going to be a ringer.
Thank you for everything. I don't know. We're in the beginners category.
What
Although
time?
Jason
I'm sure you
played-
said this 5 times before, but what time does it start? 8:45 on Saturday.
Check-in is 8:45.
So is it going to be? Of course, I should have asked these questions before. When I'm such a moron with these with this equipment. Is it co-ed too, or it doesn't matter? Like you could have 1 and 3, or is it all singles, doubles? Co-ed. Okay, gotcha.
But
All
it's a team of 2. Nobody's
Okay.
playing by themselves.
Well, I think we should sign up, dear. I think we should sign up. I think we should. Sign
I think you should.
Oh, you
sign
do
up.
have solos?
Yeah.
Oh,
of course.
team
We
you
didn't
up.
ask any of the right questions when you were on the show. So, like, can you put me
Yeah.
in this?
Fun
Can you put
first.
us in the same bracket as Dan? And who are you playing with again?
Scott.
Scott. Oh, Scott. You see, Scott's a tennis player, so he's a ringer. Scott is a tennis player. That's what you do. You find somebody to cover your weaknesses. Right?
Well, that's what you did.
Oh, geez. So I knew there was I know there was something else I wanted to ask.
You wanted to
about
talk
Veterans
about
Day.
this? Oh, about Veterans Day.
But I've completely forgotten what it is. So
Well, I'll
we're-
stick around. We can.
All right. Yes.
Which-
It'll come back
me,
to
but
us.
We bring
Don't
the mayor
worry.
up. We can
Well,
talk about school
Yes,
if you want
I'm
to.
going to bring the mayor up in a minute. If you want to take a break and get something to drink, we'll have you both come up because I want to take care of our sponsors too right now.
Thank you.
All right, Will is going to. I know Will is going to come back with Dan in a couple seconds. So give Will a big hand for talking about Veterans Day, which is Tuesday. I did want to tell you about the Best Western, and then we're gonna before they come on, dear, we're gonna talk about what we were talking about at home that we were going to talk about. Or we could do it at the end. All right, complimentary breakfast and Wi-Fi. If you're coming down from up north where I heard it's going to snow tomorrow, so if it's going to be 42 here on Tuesday, it's probably going to snow everywhere else in the country. Complimentary breakfast and Wi-Fi within walking distance to restaurants and shops, but far away from the noise and the crowds. No resort or parking fees. All rooms are efficiencies, and most have private balconies. Tropical Palm Courtyard and Beachside Pool. The Best Western. Make your reservation now because you know they're going to sell out for season. It's bwbeachresort.com. And if you're following along at home, BW stands for Best Western. bwbeachresort.com. Michael Stewart, a structural engineer that when he builds you something, it's going to stand up straight and never fall in the dirt. Michael Stewart builds residential, commercial, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. He does residential services, and they range from new custom homes directly on the Gulf, the Bay, or the Finger Streets. That's the side streets if you're keeping track at home. He starts with a survey and the client's hand-drawn sketches, and then he generates all the documents for permit. Michael Stewart is the man. He is the man with the real plan. So give Michael Stewart a call at 239-292-7670. 239-292-7670. Or you can go on his website right now, and that is mstewartpe.com. That's mstewartpe.com. All right, we're going to tell you about the Pancake House, the Island Pancake House, but we'll do that a little bit later on. And right now, it's time to get back to the live action. And joining the town manager now to talk more about some of the issues facing Fort Myers Beach is the mayor of Fort Myers Beach, everybody, Dan Allers. Big hand for the mayor.
Hey,
Dan gets a big hand. Welcome, Dan. Is there anything that you want to say about Veterans Day before we start on the beach issues?
yes, I would. So, for those of you that may not know, there's a local radio station, 92.5 Fox Radio, that this is their 11th year where they do what they call 10,000 for the troops. And what they do is they essentially gather Christmas cards with handwritten notes and they send it to the troops overseas who are obviously serving to protect us. And their goal every year is to get 10,000 cards. So as I've been following along this year, I reached out to Ed and I said, Ed, I would like to put together something where we could try to help that goal or really exceed that goal. Because 10,000 is a lot, but we all know there's probably many more troops over there that, and listening to some of the stories that Jason Jones and Trey Radel tell on the show every day when they do their shows in the morning and at night, you hear, people don't always get cards. And Jason actually served in the military and tell stories about there was days where he didn't get Christmas cards. So I'm going to issue a challenge to all the mayors out there. So Mr. Gibson, Mr. Miller, Mrs. Ribble, Mr. Gunter, and Mr. Anderson, and even the county commission, if they want to get on it. Let's see who can raise the most cards to add to that pot. So what we've done is I've created a Amazon wish list that Ed said he would be gracious enough to share for me.
Yep.
And I will share it. Megan will share it. If you can get it, share it. If you can get the cards, I'm going to call on all of our nonprofits on the island, Beach Kids Foundations here, the PTO, anybody that's willing to come together. Let's do it for the next 2 weeks. We'll receive any cards that we get in. We'll try to get together in the next 2 weeks and sit down and all handwrite these cards for those that allow us to do what we do. And my goal is 5,000 cards. So if we can get the 5,000 cards, that'll at least get them halfway to their goal. If you don't want to participate in that, it's still a very important cause. Mel's Diner is the one that is partnered with them. And Mr. I'm going to mispronounce the name, Schwartzel, who's running for Congressman Donald's seats, who owns 92.5, started this about 11 years ago. So if you want to just fill out a card, the important thing is don't put anything personal in it. Don't seal the envelope. Don't put any pictures in it. This is not, Jason made a joke. This is not Tinder, Trey, but this is not Tinder. You're not trying to pick people up.
Although I'm sure when the guys get that, I'm sure they won't mind.
If you get a chance to listen
to like no glitter or
no glitter, no nothing, just a nice handwritten note. If you don't want to partake in this, like I said, you can go to any Mel's Diner, who is the one that's helping with this, and drop your card off. Again, don't seal the envelope. But their goal is to get 10,000. My goal is to try to get 5,000 from Fort Myers Beach and Beach Talk Radio.
Yeah.
To see if we can get that at least halfway there. And again, I challenge all the other mayors out there to put that out to their communities, and let's see who can raise the most. And maybe we could do this every year and see who can raise the most and make a little fun challenge out of it going forward.
And honestly, who doesn't have cards at home? Like every year you buy new cards. So get those cards out, fill them out.
Yeah,
Are you filling out all 5,000 or you want them to fill them out? Because your hand is going to be like.
I wish I would. Again, I haven't quite worked out that detail yet, but I would 2 weeks from now, I would love to be able to come back on the show on Sunday and say, this is how many cards we've got, and then figure out if we can organize a day or two, or we can get anyone in the community that wants to. I'd love to have the kids be part of it and fill out cards, and I'll facilitate making sure we get them to Mel's Diner. That part of it hasn't been worked out yet, as Megan will tell you. I always have great ideas. Sometimes they just haven't been thought all the way through yet.
She has to fulfill all of those promises.
Although she did help me with the Amazon wish list. So I asked her if she would help me with that. But this was just something that, as I've been listening to the stories on the radio and how much it really impacts people, and Will could probably talk better than I could, is when you get a card from someone. I'm not a big card person, but when I get one, it still means a lot. So
yeah, especially when you get something in the mail. Nobody does that anymore. It's like getting a letter in the mail. Everybody's doing a text or an email. To get something like that, it turns it unique. I just have to say real quick that I'm pretty sure this show is going to be the last show we do here. It's like we've jinxed this place. It's the second time during the show that 911 had to be called because something happened here. By the way, John Nash is fine. Last week he went and got checked out and he was fine. I have no idea what's going on over there, but hopefully everybody is okay. And it seems like it's just during this hour. I mean, it's
I
crazy.
don't think that that's true.
Yeah. So anyway, so we'll get that link on our Facebook page right after the show. So you guys, and then I'm sure you said this. Oh, they're coming to your house, and then you're going to deliver them.
Yep, they'll come to my house, and we'll figure out if we can get a gathering spot somewhere where everybody can. Maybe we have to do it a couple different days, but people that want to come out and help fill out the cards, and I'll make sure I get them to Mel's Diner so that they get in the right hands. But let's see if we can achieve that 5,000 card goal. And we're fortunate enough to have Beach Talk Radio help me with this.
Yeah.
How the other mayors choose to, if they choose to accept the challenge, how they choose to get to whatever goal they set is part of the fun. Let's get creative. Let's figure out how we can do this, and hopefully this is a tradition we can carry forward year after year and make it a fun, healthy competition.
Cool. All right, and I don't know if we're both going to email or talk to the other mayors. I can obviously let the Mayor Gunter know in Cape Coral, and I don't know if I have Kevin's contact in Fort Myers, but we can all reach out to them, let them know.
We'll make sure that they know about it. And Jason Jones has said he'll take the clip from this and play it on his show tomorrow. So
Nice.
hopefully
That'll help.
the word will get out there, and let's crush the goal. I don't remember exactly what the goal was last year that they got, but the goal this year is to crush it by a lot more. So let's do it. I mean, it's a very small thing that we can do that I think would have a very big impact.
All right, you guys. Yes, big hand for the troops. Love the troops. Always love the troops. By the way, I knew what I wanted to ask you, Will. Have you ever watched the Sean Ryan podcast or any of his clips on social media?
No, I can't say
Oh
that.
my gosh, he's like a special forces guy or a special ops guy. He's retired now, but he brings on guests that apparently back in the day they used to keep everything quiet, but you hear all the stories about. I mean, everybody knows who shot Bin Laden and the special forces. I mean, I can't watch enough of that stuff just to see how bad those guys are. I mean, badasses in the craziest way that I think most people in this country would never know some of the stuff that those guys do, and to just hear some of the stories and also what they go through when they come back after seeing all that they've seen, like your folks have. But it's just incredible to listen to those stories, and I appreciate that it's out there, because then at least you get an understanding of some of the stuff that we really have to do.
And an
They have to do
appreciation.
sometimes, and an
Yeah.
appreciation for how hard it is to train to become not only in the Army and the Marines and all that, but then in the Special Forces and the Delta and the Army Rangers, all those things. It's just
Navy SEALs.
the Navy SEALs. It's just a step above. Like, I don't even know what the percentage of people would be to be able to do that. And there's some guys that go on there and say, yeah, it was easy, like going through those things. I'm like, wow. When you listen to
In
some of that
hindsight,
stuff,
it always seems.
carrying that boat over their head.
Through it, I'm sure it's real easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you've been through it, no, I agree. Truly, the Army Special Forces, the quiet professionals, we call them, and then the others, elite forces of the different services. It's just a step above. I've served alongside them in many different operations, embedded with them on some special operations in the Balkans and in Iraq and Afghanistan, and nothing but the utmost respect. Yep, they take things to another level, both physically but also intellectually, and so just have a lot of respect for them.
And when they were telling the story about how we went into Afghanistan and got together with what's his name?
Dotsum.
Dotsum's
With the
horse
the horse
guys,
soldiers.
the horse guys.
Yeah.
They didn't know if they were going to get killed by them, because
Yep.
I mean, you're dealing with soldiers that
Mhm.
really have no training,
Yep.
and you're sending in our guys like the most elite folks that are going in, and they have to ride horses. The
Yeah,
stories,
only
some of
about-
the stories are funny.
Only about 2 out of the 12 had ever ridden horses before in their
Oof.
lives, and
That's
one-
not
one-
an easy
one of
thing
the
to
one of the
just pick
non-commissioned
up.
officers from that unit was I met him in Kansas after he had retired. Good friend. He now helps run Horse Soldier Bourbon with his brother, which is a very good bourbon if you're a bourbon drinker. But and a lot of great stories
Write
from
that
those
down.
guys.
Yes, write it down. Did they mail
Yeah.
it? Cool. All right. So the first issue I wanted to bring up was the beach school. Interesting meeting last week with the school district and the town. And I have to say, the first thing that I thought was bizarre was the amount of security that Mrs. Carlin had. And I don't mean any disrespect, obviously, for LCSO, but I thought it was a little much. It made me feel like they thought, not LCSO, the school district thought that the residents of Fort Myers Beach were animals. And I might be taking it the wrong way, but there was so much security there. I couldn't understand why nobody acted like that. No, if you ever watch the town council meeting, nobody ever acts like that, no matter what the issues are. And there have been some divisive issues on Fort Myers Beach, but why is that normal?
Well, I certainly won't speak for Denise, but there's one thing as a parent, parents can get pretty vocal sometimes, and when it comes to their children, they get very emotional, and some take it too far. To me, it didn't bother me at all. As I said last week, she had an issue out in Cape Coral where someone got a little more intense than they needed to, and it's unfortunate that you have to take those precautions. But to your point, Fort Myers Beach has always been very calm. We're not, we're passionate, but we're respectful. And I think that's what you got to see at that mitigation meeting was, you got to hear the passion, you got to hear the commitment, and you got to see that the parents are not backing down and the community's not backing down, but at no time were they going to be violent. And, it's always
Pose a
better to be
threat,
over-prepared than under-prepared. So I don't blame them at all for doing what they had to do or what they felt they needed to do to feel safe.
I agree. We started off the initial discussions about the meetings that we could hold it in our town hall. We felt very comfortable with that we could provide both the right environment, but also the right security for that. But they requested that we do it in a different location and that we include some of the similar security measures that they do at the school district and other meetings. So, but like the mayor said, I feel that we showed them that the people of Fort Myers Beach are going to be respectful and going to be professional, and that we can, go forward with future meetings and maybe in a different environment.
And just to finish up on that, and then we can talk about the specific issues and how you think it's going to wind up. Debbie Jordan, who's a school board member, was sitting right in front of me, and I said to Debbie, what's the deal with all the security? And she said, something happened. Dan mentioned it, and she like poo-pooed it. Like the kids are upset in Cape Coral because I think they lost their football coach. And you guys have probably read the details about that. They want their football coach back. And so the kids were trying to talk to her, and that's what caused the incident. And she almost laughed at the kind of incident that it was. Now, maybe there was a different one in Cape Coral because that is a different animal over there, but she made it seem. And then she comes in through the back door of the meeting with Fort Myers Beach. It's like, why can't you walk through you could have a phalanx of officers around you, but these people are voters. You came to Fort Myers Beach and told them you were going to build them a school or they deserve a school, and you won't even mingle with them. So anyway, I know you guys don't want to comment on that on the record. So how do you think things are? Where do you think things are headed?
How do you think the meeting went?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I thought it went better than I expected. Quite honestly, we had obviously had conversations before, and one of the things we were confident that they weren't going to give us a yes, we're going to rebuild, or no, we're not going to rebuild in that initial meeting. But one of the things that was important to us was to pull back on the razzing of that building and tearing down that historical building. That was something that was very important that we felt would be a show of good faith that the school board or the school district could do to show our residents that we hear you, we still want to communicate, we still want to do things. And as you heard at the beginning of the meeting, when they made their opening statements, they agreed to do that. So we felt that was good. And as we had gone on, we at the end of the meeting, we were able to give them a pitch. And I want to be very clear about this because I've been reading obviously some of the social media comments. This was not something that the mayor just came up with, or the town manager came up with, or anyone else. These have been discussions that have been going on since before July. And with the ad hoc committee, to us, it was becoming abundantly clear based on actions that they were not going to build that school back. We were very confident that they weren't going to put any money into the school to bring the school back. Whether or not they would build a new school, we weren't really sure. But based on all the actions that we have seen, so we started talking with the ad hoc committee. Back in July, we had a call that Denise the superintendent referred to in the meeting, where her and I and Chair Fisher and Congressman Donalds and other people on the call talking about a best way forward. And we kind of, I went into that meeting after having conversations with the ad hoc committee about, this might be our best path forward. It's not ideal for everybody. So the pitch that we made at the end, I was just the person that was saying the words, but this was something that had been talked about. We certainly do not have all the details. We have no idea if they agree with it or don't agree with it. The fact that they were all shaking their head, and I think looking like it was very positive and agreed to have a communication going forward to bring something back to each board by the 1st of December, I thought was encouraging.
Before you finish up on that, can I ask you something about what you said initially? You said they decided not to knock down the school. One of the things that I don't remember if it was Savage or somebody else on the school board was saying is, we're not going to knock down the historical building. And you saw that they actually did start the process, so they weren't being truthful at the school board meeting. And then they agreed not to, at least right now, knock down the historical building. So what is it?
Well, they agreed to not continue to move forward with.
But
with
they
the
were
process.
moving forward with the process.
They were.
But they lied about that at the last school board meeting when they said they weren't. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ed, I think what Dr. Savage said at the last school board meeting when answering those questions of the school board was he was referring to the Castaldi report as part of the process that they're required to do for the Florida Department of Education, which is the study on whether or not to restore or demolish this school. So what he was trying to convey, and I don't know how it was received, but was that it was part of the process that they had to follow. We disagreed that it was something they had to do at this point in the process.
Because that process could have led to the school being demolished.
Correct.
And our point of view has always been, if you feel that you don't want to invest money back into that building to be a school, we certainly understand that. We get the fiscal responsibility part of that, but it doesn't mean you have to tear the building down. And where I had an issue with Dr. Savage when he said we had to tear the building down to be able to even have conversations about building a new school. And I totally disagree with that, because there's plenty of land there to be able to build a new school without having to tear down a historical building that no storm has ever been able to take down in 80 years. So that was where that difference of opinion came. But again, I think they've agreed to at least stop that process, and I think they understand our point of view.
Yes.
Okay, so
And did you?
wait, you're interrupting me. I was going to ask.
Oh,
something.
my.
I had to let the applause go through first. So
Well, it
your
wasn't for you.
so your proposal, Dan and the town, was to take over, for them to lease you the building and the land for $1 a year for 100 years, and for them to write you a check for $12 million. Right.
Well, I guess if that's, so how this started is again, it goes back to, the disagreement in the interlocal agreement. We have our position, they have their position, the lawyers have their positions. And, they have a very large budget. We have no budget. And as we started these conversations way back in June and July, again, with the ad hoc committee, I have a unique perspective, because I have the emotional, obviously, side of it from our community, but I also have the side of it of sitting on a decision-making board that has to understand also the fiscal responsibility side of it. And when you look at both sides, to me, it became evidently, it became clear that we had to find a solution that was going to work for both sides, or it was going to go nowhere, and it could get tied up in courtrooms for years.
Litigation. Yeah.
And I kept circling back to, well, what is the end goal? The end goal is to get our kids back as soon as possible on the island, continue the 80-year tradition, continue the above average, far above average school system and school education that the kids on this island receive, and make sure it stays part of our community. That, to me, was the end goal. Now, we can argue about dollars and cents, and we can argue about public versus private, and we can argue about all those things, and we'll have all those conversations down the road. But the important part was to preserve the building, preserve that we can get our kids back on the island. And as we continued to talk about it, what you heard come out was essentially what we felt we could at least start the process down the road, rehabbing the old historical building, getting the kids back as soon as possible, while we build a new school adjacent to it on the same property And then the historic building can be used for many things, not just for the town of Fort Myers Beach, but all of Lee County, to be able to have events, to be able to have, Beach Kids Foundation, people that have lost their structure that maybe can't, art association, all these things we could use this building for going forward and preserve history and still be able to use it for good. So that's how the whole thing started.
So how did you come up with the 12 million? Is 12 million enough to do everything you need to do?
You want to take this one? Or you want me to take
That's
it?
a long story.
Well, we came up with the 12 million. Really, a few different ways came together for this, and really, there initially, as part of the interlocal agreement, the school district and the town had agreed that they would rebuild, that the school district would rebuild the cafeteria, or would build a cafeteria to go along, and that was budgeted for about $6 million, which, according to the last couple of budget briefings we've watched and researched from the school district, they still have that in their budget. They still have that $6 million in their budget. But then, in addition to that, we recently found out that the school district received almost $12 million in FEMA disaster relief funding, specifically for the beach school to rebuild the facilities that were there existing and build new ones so they could get back the full campus after the disaster. And some of that money was previously expended. So they would need to repay that back. Basically, what we came up with was a combination of all these things. We felt that if they were to give us $12 million, gift us $12 million to the town, based on research that the mayor will probably talk about that he has done with some builders and developers, that we think we can build a facility, a resilient, building that would be in the standards of the Florida Department of Education, but also in the standards, code and ordinance standards, to be a good structure here on the island. We could do it for under that amount of money and have the other for some of the overhead costs.
So where is the rest of the money going to come from to run a school?
Well, that's a good question. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. So what I did is I reached out to Michael Stewart, who was gracious enough to kind of put a rendering together of exactly the building that's there is roughly 9,000 square feet, but can house 100 to 116 students, depending on which number you want to go with. So I asked him, could you kind of design, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Can you help me understand what it would look like so that I can then take it to people that I know and trust and ask, can you help me understand what the cost per square foot would be, so that when we go to them and we have negotiations, I have a better understanding. Now, what people don't understand, or maybe do people understand or don't remember, is when it's a public school, there are far more rules and regulations that you have to follow to be able to make it a public school. With a municipal charter school, there are things that aren't necessarily as stringent when it comes to construction wise, which helps lower that cost. So essentially what Michael Stewart did is he designed the building that's there, pretty much the same footprint, but elevated it up to current building code height, which would make it resilient. At the point, yeah. Oh, at the bruiser, so we took that building. I sent it out to a couple people that I know in the development world and asked them, what would it cost in today's dollars? What would it cost to build this building? They came back with a price, and I said, well, what if we add, a FF&E, building out the building, books,
Nobody
all
knows what
those
that
things.
stands for, Dan.
So it's just basically fits and finishes. It's everything that goes inside: desks, computers, screens, all the stuff that takes, just like your house. When you move into your house, you got to buy furniture, all that. That's what that stands for.
All right.
So what would it take to do that? And if we wanted to add a cafeteria, what would it take? And the dollar amount came back a square foot, and that gave us a dollar amount. So we took that, and then we figured roughly what it'd take, a couple of years, 2-3 years of operating costs to get us to be able to figure everything out and get us on our feet. That's how we came up roughly with the $12 million number. It just so happens that it coincided with the roughly $12 million in FEMA funding.
All right. So on an ongoing basis, how much does a charter school cost to operate, and how much will the town have to pay?
I honestly don't know enough to answer that with clarity at this time. I can tell you that the methods with which we would fund running a municipal charter are multi. First, charter schools receive funding that pass, the per student funding that any school receives across any school district based on the tax dollars that go into the district from that area. Then the money would pass through, just like it does to the schools, but it would pass through to the town, who would be running a municipal charter in this case. There's a little bit of a tax, about a 5% tax on that the district takes, because they have a responsibility by statute in Florida to administer, to make sure that all the schools, charter schools operating within their district are doing so to the Department of Education standards. So there's a little bit of a tax for the staff that does that. The rest would pass through to us. So say it's $10,000, about $9,500 per student would come to the town
Per
for
year.
operating expenses. Above that, there's obviously would be more operating expenses. One method that many charter schools do, which we are going to seek, if this is indeed the path that we go down, is working with possibly some of the already existing 501(c)(3)s, or maybe even standing up our own foundation of sorts, because many of them have a foundation that then can take in money through
Yeah.
the sources
So-
that 501(c)(3)s do, that also help cover some of those operating costs. They can't pay for staff, but they can pay for things like curriculum, technology, construction costs, and so forth.
So a couple of quick things. So the school, the town council, or a designated group or body then becomes the school board on the beach.
That is correct.
And
So
roughly how much, if you were to throw a dart at the wall, Will, and say it's going to cost, let's say you have 50 kids, just to keep it even, instead of 51, which would be odd, dear. 50
Thank you.
kids, how much?
I know all about Odd. I married Odd.
How much would the budget be?
I really don't know that.
I
yet,
am.
but,
But
but I'll come back and talk about that. I know that I have a pretty good expert on my staff, as you know, Tracy.
A couple of them actually.
Actually, Tracy, the former principal of
Right.
the Fort Myers Beach Elementary School, she actually ran the budget for Fort Myers Beach Elementary School up until just about a year ago, and she has already started looking at this, as well as we've got a couple of members of staff. We're pretty blessed right now to have one of our budget manager who helped run a charter school in Cape Coral before she came to work for us, and then we've got Becky Vos, who's helping us obviously with
Yeah.
the deliberations, has done legally. She's helped stand up a couple of charter schools. So I'll get back to you on,
All right.
on
Well,
what
and,
that's
and,
going
and
to cost.
just to piggyback on that, we're fortunate enough. We have a really diverse group that's in the ad hoc committee
Absolutely.
that are very passionate, obviously very smart. One of them actually mentioned to me after the meeting that there's programs where teachers can transition from the school board to charter and keep their pension, which would be huge. So there's a lot of moving parts that are going to have to get worked out if this is the path that we go down. But we have to start somewhere, right? We have to start with, is this a path that works for both sides? And as I said in the meeting, when you deal with the fiscal responsibility part, the contributions from our community will still continue to go into the school board's coffers. They will still receive funding. We will receive a little bit of funding. So, it's a path forward, and we'll see where it goes. We're confident in the response that we got from them. But again, this is a very, very, very
Kim's got a question, Dan.
well, this is a very pivotal point
Kim's got a question, Dan.
but this is important. This is a very pivotal point. I believe on the school board side to continue these good faith negotiations and move forward and stick to a very short timeline, because our goal is to get these kids back. So we're going to hold them to their word,
What is your question, Mrs. Ryan?
and we'll see where we go.
We're trying to get a lot of questions, and I know there's
What
football
is it going
coming
to
up.
stay? Is it going to stay just a municipal charter school, or is there an opportunity to do something with a private entity as well?
Our vision right now is just with the municipal charter, if that is the way we have to go. We're not looking beyond that right now.
Okay.
And I think for what our community wants, as we talk with the ad hoc committee, as we talk with others, I think that's the best path for us right now. It allows us to maintain the best of both worlds, possibly, where we have very similar to the public school that it was before, but we have local oversight over it to make sure that it goes exactly where we want it to go.
So what if they say no? What's plan B?
Well, Plan B doesn't work for anyone, and I think if you listen to Mr. Rooney, the mediator,
Yeah.
the last thing we want to do is let this sit on a desk with lawyers for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years.
Which it
I don't
will.
think they want it. I don't think we want it. We both want the same goal. We just figure, how do we get there? I'm cautiously optimistic that I think we'll get there. Now, the lawyers have to do their things and figure out how exactly that works out, and then the boards
So Dan,
respectively have to make their decision.
back to your answer. So Obviously, if they say no, you have to decide. The town has to decide if they want to sue the school district, and that's a big giant monster over there. And Fort Myers Beach is a little tiny town, and that would Becky and Nancy take that on as part of their regular fee, or would that be something that the taxpayers have to pay for outside of that?
Oh, well, I'll start there. And no, our agreement with VOS Law includes litigation.
Cool.
They do litigations
That's good
for
to
us
know.
with no extra cost, and they are very, very good at what they do.
So the biggest
but
downside to that is the
the goal-
kids, don't have a school.
First,
Yeah.
we don't want it to come to that. We are going to we'll spend every hour of every day over the next week trying to hammer out this agreement with the school district. There's going to be some back and forth over the next few days. The goal for both of us, as initiated by the facilitator, Mr. Rooney, is that by next town council meeting, goal is that I have something that I'm briefing our council on an agreement between the two entities. And then a week following that will be the next school board meeting, and the similar agreement is briefed to the school board for vote. That is both of our goals, both the district and the town's goal. We're going to work really hard over the next few days.
Somebody that was watching wants to know why the school district keeps the new playground locked up so that the kids on the island can't use it.
That would be a question for them. I'm guessing it's security, insurance. I can't speak for them, but I would direct that question to Superintendent Carlin.
All right. Any other thoughts on the school and what you want anybody to do to help?
Well, just, stay involved. Been getting emails from people on both sides trying to better understand it, which is great. It shows that people are engaged. But I think as we've shown since Hurricane Ian, this community is going to stay engaged in this. It's not something we're going to let go. We want that ultimate goal, and we won't stop until we get there.
Okay. Real quick, Megan just put the link to the Christmas cards, holiday cards. I can't say Christmas, sorry. Holiday cards in the chat box, but you can't click on it, so you just have to copy and paste it. If you wanted to start buying your holiday cards right now, you can do it to
You
start
might
us
have to
off today.
It's got to be a link where they can just.
No, it won't work on my software. So she did what you need to do. It
Yeah.
won't work on mine, but I will fix it
Okay.
on our Facebook page later on today.
Yeah,
Okay,
Send
so-
those cards.
Well, I tried to help as much as I could, and sometimes people are just so thick in the head. The new parking passes that are $50 do include every single spot on Fort Myers Beach that has a sign, and it's only for Fort Myers Beach residents. Correct or incorrect?
Correct. It is for all Fort Myers Beach residents who live within the bridges here on the island. If you have an address in there, then you can, your current pass is good anywhere.
Okay.
A town parking space. So if you see, just like the ones out in front here, you see the town of Fort Myers Beach logo on there, you can park there. And when you come in to get your new permit for next year, same will apply for the next year.
Gotcha. Okay. So just so everybody knows, that's from the boss. It includes, Dan said it before that, but now you got
Yep.
some double backup there. And so people that need to get past,
And there was some confusion, which I'm sure I'm not the only one that has made Willow aware of some of the information that's being handed out, maybe excludes some of the like wasting
Yeah.
away and things
Yeah.
like that. That is not the case. And that
Correct.
Don't muddy it up. Don't muddy it up.
so somebody said to me, and maybe you guys can clear this up, that first of all, how do you think the new traffic lights are working out?
I think it's a little too early to tell. There's going to be a learning curve. I think, as you said on your walk around the other day, people they think just because someone's stopping and waiting at a crosswalk means you have to stop and let them go. That is not what the state law says. The state law says if you are in the crosswalk, you have to yield to the pedestrian. You don't have to yield to the pedestrian on the sidewalk, especially if it's a green light for you.
Oh my God! Yesterday, I said this on the.
we go.
I know she hates me complaining about it, but I came over the bridge and the light was green, and it was me and a lady in front of me, and she stopped at the green light, and that's exactly what you don't want people to do. There were 3 people waiting. Now, here's what happened yesterday when
All
I
right,
was.
dear, but it's going to take a little bit of time because it used
I
to
don't
be
really
the way
think it
that
should have to
people
take any
would
time
do
to go
that.
through a green light. The green
I
light
know,
thing
but
has been going on forever.
But down here, you used to just let people go.
Kim told the story before the show
Yes.
about how she was leaving
This
yesterday.
is
after the
so
Willow event.
great.
And people now, because of the construction over the last few years, have gotten so in tune with having to come down Old San Carlos, go to 3rd to exit the island. they don't know that they can continue
U-turn.
on
Yeah.
Fifth
Yeah.
to the stoplight and go through the roundabout and exit the island that way.
Yeah.
They don't have
Use
to go
the
through town.
U-turn. It saved me probably an hour.
So it's just going to be an unlearning
So,
thing and a relearning.
Let
thing.
me
Yes.
let me reverse engineer this whole thing from yesterday. So
Oh, that's disturbing.
I was trying to kill time between the end of the show and the whale
Mhm.
thing last night. So I was going to walk over here. And so as I'm coming, now I'm a walker, not a driver. And I'm pressing like the 19 buttons you got to press to cross over there, right? And so now I'm at the same light where the lady stopped at the green light. And I'm pressing the button. And I'm purposely not looking at the vehicle because the vehicle stopped right here trying to let me go across. So you know what happened? Two people biking went right
Way
by
to be
me.
part of the problem, Ed.
No,
Thanks,
what
buddy.
are you talking about? No, I was waiting for the light to change. I was waiting for the hand. You can hear the machine yelling to you, wait, 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 wait. And the two biker people went right behind
Why
me.
didn't you just walk down Fifth, go cut through under the
Because
bridge?
I wanted to do that. I actually wanted to press all the buttons and
And see
see
how
what
it works?
happens. Yeah, I did.
It is.
So it's research.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
it's
totally
quite
research.
a thing to cross through there as a pedestrian. It's a lot of.
Do you guys
lot of
know when they're going to put the landscaping in? Because apparently the state believes that's going to stop everybody from walking the wrong way. Do we have any idea when the landscaping is going
We just needed a walkover.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
No, I
gone up for
don't.
bid yet.
in? The Jim Adderholt Memorial Walkover.
Yep.
So, lastly, on the light thing, Erin was saying that she was coming over the bridge and she saw that there's a new sign up that says when the right side light is flashing, it's a bus lane only. Did you see that?
I have not seen that.
I have not either.
I'll look at it.
Yeah,
today.
so I didn't see it either because I'm trying to memorize the lights or figure out where not to go through a red light. But if there is actually a yellow flashing light so that only the right lane is a bus lane, what was the purpose of doing any of the road work there? Because that's what it was before the bridge changes.
Very good question. That's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, Erin said she saw it this morning coming over. So, all right. What else updates wise? Lights, camera, anything?
With the lights.
Will.
Yeah. Did you see our post earlier this past week on the street lights on the southern end of the island? So we've started. I met with some of my staff with FPL and their contractors have been working on the street lights, as well as FWC representatives came down. And we did the first energizing of the street lights down on the southern end. We're going to start at the southern end and work north. And if everybody's seen, they've started installing a lot more of the light heads on the light poles that have been going up for the past several months. Really, I know it's taken years for this project to get to where it is.
Really?
But so we had a very good and successful first test and energizing of those lights. The FWC brought out their photometric readers, brought out their cameras, and did everything. And cutting it short, basically the representative from FWC said that we could become a model for all of Florida. That's how satisfied they are with the lights. And when
Thank
it
you.
did get dark, I'll tell you, only one side of the street was lit, and it was well lit. So for those that are concerned about with the new lighting and the photometric restrictions and so forth, that it's going to be too dark, I'd ask you to go out because we're going to have those lights on now, continuing, and we're going to keep energizing them all the way up the island. It is well lit, and I think I felt very safe out there, both on the sidewalk and on the street. But I'd ask everybody to go out and please give us some feedback on that.
Yeah,
You
Megan
need
and
a
I.
ribbon cutting for that.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
that needs a
Megan and
party.
I actually went down yesterday, took a golf cart down and checked it out. And to your point, the golf side was lit, the other side was not. But the side that was lit, the thing I wanted to see was, does it really illuminate from the back of the sidewalk? With that shielding, I was a little cautious that was going to actually work. But it really, really is. And to be able to see, everybody knows I'm not a huge fan of amber light, but it is what it is, and it does meet the 1 foot candle safety measure that FDOT requires. And when you get to see it, that's just one half of the road lit up, and when they light up the other half, I think everybody will be fairly confident this is 100 times better than it was, and will feel much better when they see everything finally done.
Yeah, and so real quick, Dan's pickleball player, Lee Melsick, had a question about why was the parking fee doubled?
Well, you got way more service. Way more service. Before it was $25. You can only park under the bridge. Now it's $50. You can park anywhere on the island, including beach accesses. So we feel that's a very good bargain. And I have had not one person complain about the $50 or $25 increase for the services that they're getting for it.
And do you know anything about the traffic light here? Because I know they were planning to sync everything together, and this thing, bad idea, bad question.
Well, it's not a bad question. It's just I don't have a date on that traffic light there. It won't be. It's not going to be before the start of the season, obviously.
Oh.
And it's I don't know how long it's going to take after that. I
A
am
lot of lights.
in discussions with county to try and see if there's a way we can get some kind of a temporary light there. But in the meantime, we're looking at other ways to improve traffic without having to bring some personnel on staff to direct traffic like we've had to do before. So we're still working with the county hard on that. It is the light that's there has to be completely replaced. So the county's still working on it.
And they're looking to elevate. They're looking to elevate the electronics,
Right.
the electric for that.
And you've been saying that for
They are.
2 years.
I'm just telling you that what we know.
We know that
That's
already,
going to be
though.
hard to not train people to stop there when it's green and people are in the
I
crosswalk.
know
too.
how
I
Dan
mean,
is.
That's
Dan-
going to be rough.
Dan's trying to be a diplomat, like while we're on the show. And I know as soon as we get sitting down at the table, the sons of bitches won't turn the damn traffic light on. We've
That's
been asking
not
that for
true
3
at
years.
all.
I know he's
You're
not.
a
You
big
guys know that's
liar.
not true.
He's thinking that, though.
No,
You're thinking that.
I am thinking that.
no. These are all things that
You should have taken Mullica over there after the whale thing and said, dude, come on, fix this traffic light.
You know,
The
speak-
whale thing
Well,
was
speaking
great.
of
Yeah.
speaking of David
Mullica.
David Mullica, our
Good guy.
commissioner, he came out and he gave some news about the base of the bridge. He and I and a couple business stakeholders had a meeting a couple weeks back about some ideas that we had to try to maybe improve the base of the bridge entrance for the town of Fort Myers Beach. One of those conversations revolved around the area where the black fenced-in area in front of Margaritaville was going to be used and has been used in the past as staging for commercial projects that have rented out that space, and then was going to be used as a trolley stop. We all agreed that that was not a very good use of space for that property. So we had conversations about turning it into. And one of the things that I've been following along for a long time, and I've noticed, and a lot of people have complaints about, is when you bring your bikes down, we encourage people to come by different forms of transportation, leave your cars at home, come by bike, come by something else. But we have no place for them to
Right.
safely lock up their bikes
Right.
or their golf carts or anything like that. You would see them, you'll see it this season. They're tied up to the bridge on either side of the bridge, and it just creates a walking hazard. It's just,
Oh, it's a perfect spot.
so that spot would be a great spot. So we pitched that to Commissioner Maleka. He took it back to his staff. Dave Harner and his staff were well on board. They've been in communication with Will and our staff. And I think he made the announcement. I wasn't aware that he was going to make the announcement. I'm certainly
Nobody
glad
was.
he did.
I know.
But that's just one of the initiatives that we've been working on to try to help that. There's other things that are going forward.
And the pier. He talked about the pier.
He
when
talked
was
about the
there.
pier, and there's a couple other things that we're talking to him about. And if those come to fruition, I think Commissioner Maleka will be the one that will break the news and let everybody know. But
Yeah.
but it just goes to show you that our staff and county staff are working really hard to make sure that we can find the best ways possible to improve the entrance into Fort Myers Beach.
Cool. Did they give you a date when that's going to be all blacktopped over and all that? When it be open?
No, Ed, we don't have that date yet.
All right.
I did talk with the county manager just this past week. So the expectations, they're still trying to come up with, to put together the money and the project paperwork to do that, to get
Okay.
to that parking area in Seafarers Park. In the interim, for expectations, everybody, in the interim, there will be a few months where the construction company for Salty Crab is going to be using that space for staging. But I think that's a good thing because
Yeah.
we want to get that project going.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they're not going to be ready to start paving that over and putting parking in it during that 3-month period anyway. So it will be used for staging a little bit, but then we'll move on to the next as described.
So I was.
And one of the things
Oh.
that I don't know if Commissioner Maleka touched on it, but we, the LCSO trailer that we really like to see and have, at least in my opinion, the conversations we're moving that into that same area. So
That's
it would
right.
be kind of a multi-use area so that they would have a place to be able to get in and out of if they need to respond to an emergency, or if people need to report a crime. The outreach center there has been a success on the island since it was put down before the storm. So we're looking forward to having them be part of that as well.
So,
Yep.
so
I just want to say a quick little story about that. You're talking about the sheriff's,
Trailer, yeah.
Yes.
yeah, the trailer. So yesterday, when I probably shouldn't say that.
do it. Say
It wasn't me. Yesterday, when I was leaving the whale, It's become quite the photo op. I'm not sure that that's what they intended it for.
The sheriff's
Because
picture?
yeah, because
Really?
people were going up there, getting in front of,
Take a picture with Sheriff
I like-
Marcino.
That's weird.
and I was like,
That's funny.
like, I'm not sure. And then as soon as I was like, this is none of my business. I don't want to create any drama.
I'm
but
gonna
I
go over
was
there and do
like,
it.
that's going to be the next. I'm worried
They do
viral
that-
thing.
They
They
do
were
that with Dan's picture all the time. Everybody
Oh,
wants
yeah,
to get
yeah,
a picture with
yeah.
him.
Usually it involves a big dart or a jart, one or the other.
So I was talking to Tom at La Ola yesterday, and Chris. They were both there, and he said that he was kind of showing me where he hopes to have a mitigation wall put in on the outside of his property, and hopefully get the zone changed so it changes. Maybe it changes. FEMA helps him out, and he's able to build on the ground level or whatever the rules are. How will that work with just a mitigation wall in Tom's property and not go all the way down Times Square? I mean, it just not Tom's property, but Chris's property isn't huge. So you build a mitigation wall like 20 feet long and that's it. It doesn't seem like it would help anything.
Well, it'll help. That property, that piece of property, just like a wave mitigation wall that we've been discussing for months over any part of this property. If proposed correctly and engineered correctly, they can get a conditional decision from FEMA to potentially build to different standards in that area, and then eventually get a full-time or a full zoning rezoning for floodplain. So it will help. We're still talking with many other of the property owners and developers about the wave mitigation wall for the entire area to go down a little bit further. But we are talking with that particular owner and developer and builder, and if their project comes through first, then it'll be reviewed by all of our the LPA and by the council. But there'll be some discussions back and forth on town property versus their property and how we work through those things.
But if somebody puts up a wall, doesn't it create and force all the extra water around to the other properties that aren't covered by that wall? I mean,
well-
I'm not an engineer, so I don't know.
I would defer that question to Elizabeth Fountain, who we all know is our expert, and she now is on a professional services contract with the town. So she's assured us that there are ways to do those projects to mitigate against that particular effect.
A
as much
mitigation
as
wall to
possible.
mitigate that effect.
It's the
There's
way
a
the
lot of
water would flow
mitigating.
through. There's different ways to control the flow, or try to divert the flow of the water.
Okay.
So
And also make it expandable. So
Yeah.
should adjacent properties want to be part of the program,
You can add on to that.
they can add on to it. Yeah.
So Will, is tomorrow the Marines' birthday? Is tomorrow the actual 250th birthday of the Marines?
For the Marine Corps, yes.
All right. Somebody just posted that. Happy birthday,
happy
Marine
birthday,
Corps,
Semper
250
Fi.
years.
Mhm.
So two other questions that I wanted to ask about. What was the first one? The first one was I'm writing notes on top of notes. This isn't a question, but just so you all know, you probably read that the South Bridge opens up this coming week, Wednesday and Thursday. And boy, oh boy, they built that thing in 2 years. That is amazing. How you can build a bridge in 2 years, but you can't even get a permit for the pier.
What's amazing is how fast they built the bridge to build the bridge.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So
You're
that-
never going over that bridge. It's way too high.
It is
for
pretty
you.
high, and there's no fishing. There won't be any fishing left on that bridge. From what the county says, they're not even saving part of the
And
old
no
bridge.
base jumping.
Right. That's what I
Yeah.
heard. Who knows if it'll change by
It's
then.
initially, from what I read from the county announcement, initially it'll be open for 2 lanes of traffic starting on the 14th. And the project will continue through next summer when it comes to the rest, the sidewalks and the bike lanes and so forth. So there's still plenty of work coming. It's not the end of construction. It'll still be, a slow progress to get to there, but it's great progress.
Yeah.
And there was something in the announcement. I don't know, Ed, you can research this, that they do plan on using the old bridge as a
Reef.
reef,
Yes,
as a natural
yeah.
reef offshore somewhere. Which
That
good.
is, I don't know if you knew this, Will, but that is the fishingest bridge in
Yeah.
all of
I have
Florida
heard.
right there. Yes.
I have heard.
So the other question that I had for you was, will there be a swearing in of Rebecca Link on the 17th as a new town council member?
Yes,
Okay.
it's on the agenda. The results of the election were certified Friday midday-ish. We received that notification from the supervisor of elections. So we put that on the agenda for the 17th.
And I know this isn't something we need to chat about, but just so everybody knows, John will still be on the town council pending the appeal that he has filed in the court to see if the judge's ruling will stand with the appeal. So they stayed his ruling of the recall, even though he lost the vote. He will stay on the council until the appeals court finalizes all that. So, John, is that correct? I don't want to falsely say anything, but it sounds like John will be there on the 17th, correct?
That is my understanding as well, as
Okay.
you said it.
All right, great. And then the last question I had for you, Will, is the town in good financial shape?
How do you
Yes.
ask that every time?
Yes, it is.
Well, I just want to make sure. That's all.
Are you in good financial shape?
Yeah, we're in good financial shape there. Yeah.
Are you making millions?
Not yet. No,
Okay.
we're
Well,
working
you
on
just
it.
took a hit with a computer today, but other than that,
Well, I will be
God,
buying a
and
new
all
computer.
this stuff that he buy. I mean, this was a new computer because he
It
left
was.
the other one in the car, and then the wrap on the stupid truck. That's a
Well, the
wash.
wrap looks great.
And
but
then those
sitting
things
in a
that you
parking lot
ordered
somewhere.
that Dan and I had to hold up. I need to.
I bought
Things
some new
need to be
stanchions.
approved by me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll be doing a show on little tiny chairs.
Well,
with
we
no
won't
camera.
have these $9,000 microphones that we can't use.
it'll be interesting to hear the updates over the next 6
Yeah.
months to a year on how the baby Amazon cart is compared to the Ed Amazon cart.
I did get to hold the baby the other day. For
You did?
Yeah, for about.
Because you look like you were scared to death in the picture I
No,
saw.
I got to hold the baby for 90 seconds and then I just gave it back. It's
That's
like
enough.
They don't even do anything. It's like they don't.
I know. You should just
They have no
not. You should just
personality.
stay home for a couple of years.
Yeah, 4 weeks old. You think the
Yeah,
kid
you'll
would
see
have
how
some
much they do.
personality?
And what's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you know how Kim feels. He
Yeah.
just doesn't do anything. I just want to give him back.
So any
I've been trying for a long
before
time.
we tell you guys don't have to sit in for this, but before
No, and
we
you
tell
probably
everybody
won't.
about
I
our
have to go to the
scam
bathroom.
that we need to fix, is
All right,
there,
we're good. We're
is
done.
there anything else? And I don't want to make sure we didn't miss anything.
No, I think we got
Nope.
it all covered.
Thank you very
All
much.
right,
Yes.
thank you. Big hand for Will
Send those
and the
cards.
mayor, everybody. Send your cards and letters to Dan's house. So I know she wanted to talk about this, but I did want to. Before you guys leave, I hope you could do this for me. One of the things that's going on the beach is there's a resident on Fort Myers Beach that is trying to get her 5 friends, to go on Google and write bad reviews for every single business that you see on our website or in our newsletter. And they're not even going to those businesses. They're not spending money at those businesses. They're not having bad service at those businesses. That's how much hatred this person has for Fort Myers Beach, and she's a resident of the beach. And so I don't even know if Google has a way of discovering whether or not reviews are real or not, if somebody's actually there. But it would be great if you all went on Google today. I don't even know how. I've never done a Google review in my life, but it would be great if you could go on Google today and write a review for your meal or your service here at Wahoo Willie's. And I'm not telling you what to write. Write an honest review, but it would be nice if you could go on there. Or if you're coming down and you stay at one of the resorts, that you could do that. Or if you're going to Nervous Nelly's or wherever you go, La Ola. And if you could write a review for those guys, it would just, all of you guys doing it would counteract the 5 followers that the person has on that page. But I guess what you do you go on Google and you search for the business? I have no idea how to do it, but I'm going to try and figure it out by the time we leave here today. Just write a review about Aaron or write a review about the service here, and do that for whatever business you go to. And I'm not saying go on something and do something fake for a place you haven't gone to. If you have a pleasant experience at any place, apparently these reviews are a big deal or something, or people pay attention to these reviews. I don't know if that means anything or anything, but for somebody to do that is just crazy for the businesses who are waiting for this time to come around, because they need the money at this time of the year, especially. So I've asked everybody to go on Google and write a review, a honest review about things. Is there anything that I know you wanted to say?
No,
something?
I think that it's clear that there are people out there that don't like us. Give us a bad Google review, but leave the businesses alone, because these businesses are part of your community. So to target somebody, even if you go on there and say it's because of us that you're writing the review number changes. It affects them. It affects the businesses. And as a community, that is, talk about divisive, and that's really unfortunate. So please, if you don't like us, We have broad shoulders. Bring it, but leave them out of it.
Right. And again, if you can write a review on Google for Wahoo Willies today, that would be
Well,
great.
thank you.
Thank you all for coming and putting up with our 36-minute late show today.
I know you
Well, we
get
did start-
long-winded every time.
We did start 9 minutes late, so I want to thank everybody for coming here to Wahoo Willies, and I hope the gentleman who had apparently he had a stroke in the
Oh,
corner
wait a
over there.
minute.
I hope he's okay. Yeah. And before we go, I want to tell everybody about the Island Pancake House. The Island Pancake House serves breakfast and lunch. They open at 7:30 in the morning. They are located over in the Seagray Plaza, which is behind the big red bus. And the big red bus is, I think it's illegally parked in front of the Seagray Plaza. But anyway, you look for the big red bus, and the Island's Pancake House is over there. And Stacy and holy crap, he's Ryan. We're like friends, and I'm completely getting old. They have great breakfast, and they have a full liquor bar. So if you go there, write a Google review about them, will you? And say, listen, I just had scotch and pancakes, and that's a wicked good combination. So bourbon and pancakes. And thank you to the Island Pancake House and all our sponsors, and for Dan and Will and the Beach Kids Foundation. And remember, go to the Amazon link, which we'll be adding to our Facebook page shortly, so that you can help us get Christmas cards for the troops, holiday cards for the troops. Sorry.
Well,
Lastly, but not leastly,
we got some more gifts from
Oh.
our friends. I'm going to cover the name, but it says
Frisco, Texas, friends.
yes.
Right? What does
It's-
this say?
It's a grandpa and grandma shirt.
What are you
So-
covering the name for?
Because we're.
Hudson's. Everybody knows this name.
I know.
Hudson's grandpa, established in 2025. Very nice. Thank you. And can you toss me the hat? I showed this. I don't know if I showed they brought us hats. Dan, did you get a hat too? These hats,
Yes, you.
these safari
he
hats
didn't.
with our logo on them. How about that? These are great hats for the beach, though, when it gets too hot. You wear. Wow, you
they're
got a
good
triple
for the
extra large
boats
for that.
and
Yeah,
all sorts of stuff.
very nice. Stop bringing us gifts. Just
I
come down and
know.
spend money. So thank you all for
And
coming.
they got us a fan, but he's gonna explain it to us off air.
All right. Anything
There's
else?
a story
Are
there.
there any more gifts in there?
No.
Okay. Thank you all for
Isn't that
coming.
enough?
Yes. We'll see you all next week and have a great day. Bye bye.